Okay. Sige, ano? So for this will be your very first lesson in our course. So this is an introduction in PLC itself. So as I've told you before last meeting, we cannot go truly again on programming itself, on the hardware itself. We don't know the theory, okay, the principles of operation of this PLC. So it is very important for you to learn the basic operations, okay, the basic parts, especially the parts, the connection, the input and output, and so on. So as we go by, I hope you take down notes because I'm mentioning a lot of technical concept na which is not included here in the PowerPoint. So my PowerPoint is a summarization of the introduction. But all the important concepts, important technical theories will be coming from me. So I want you to take down notes and pay attention and listen what we are discussing. Okay? So so for the topic outcomes, so we can define what is a programmable logic controller as I'm telling you. So what its purpose, what it can do in industrial automation, why it is very important for you to learn you as electrical engineer, why it is important you for you to learn PLC, okay, or basic PLC or basic PLC programming, why it is very important. Okay, and it is the advantages. So I know some of you, majority of you take the course of microcontroller itself. So you know how to program, you know how to use an Arduino, right? So Arduino is a brand of a microcontroller, and you know how to code some basic codes. You know how to upload, how to download, and to put inputs and outputs. So especially for PLC, this is similar, but there's a lot of technicalities compared to the Arduino. Okay, so this is also very important for us to go on hands-on practical exercises. The main parts you should be familiar with the parts of the PLC itself. Okay, it's hard for you to navigate on the actual and the hands-on exercises if you don't know the parts of the PLC and its function. It's very important. Specification, right? So next, the basic sequence and working principle. It is also very important. You cannot program this PLC if you don't know how it works, the basic operation of a PLC. Okay? So kindly raise your hand if you see something like this on your OJT in school. This is an actual picture of a PLC itself. So anyone here in O4 have seen this one in your OJT, in your everyday life? Sino nakakita nito? Anyone? So from O4, can you raise your hand? May nakakita na ba nito? Okay, yes. Si Anis. So nakakita na. So yun, may nakakita na ano. So, but majority of us hindi pa nakakakita. So, hindi mo to basta-basta makikita for your everyday life. So, saan mo to makikita? In this, especially in the industrial automation, in a large manufacturing setup, in a large factory. Because they uses automation itself for their process. So, in order to automate that process, they're using this PLC. Okay? So, there's a lot of PLC brand you can encounter. So, meron tayong General Electric, meron tayong Siemens, meron tayong Mitsubishi, and this is yung Schneider. So take note, ito yung gagamitin nating PLC na if you will using it on hands-on. So it is from Schneider. It's a Schneider PLC that very good for beginners. Okay? So it is also my first time to use this, but I navigated this one because I know how to program a PLC. And you too also, if you learn how to program, if you learn how to use this PLC, I can assure you, you can adjust with different types of PLC, with different brands of PLC. Because they just all the same. Naiiba lang is UI, yung hardware architecture, but the programming itself, the programming language is all the same. If you know how to program this one, I'm assuring you, you can program all of this. So that is the effectivity, that is the advantages. Okay? If you learn one brand of a PLC, I assure you, you can adjust. Okay? You can navigate in any branch of the PLC. So, okay, what is a PLC? So, as from the definition itself, it is an industrial grade computer. So, as I've told you a while ago, you cannot see this everywhere. Ano, parang araw hindi mo siya makikita. You can see this on industrial automation setup, large manufacturing setup, sa mga paggawa ng sabon, gatas, everything, every products we consume, all of that is being controlled by a PLC. So it is very important for you to learn this. Okay? So it is digital computer used in industries, yes, controlling manufacturing processes. I assure you, all manufacturing processes here in the Philippines, internationally, from the whole world, they use this PLC. Okay? So, has eliminated much of the hardwiring. So, what do you mean by hardwiring? Hardwiring, as you can remember your last laboratory, you control a motor using a push button, start, stop, forward, reverse by not programming something, right? That's what you call hardwiring. As you can see also, there's a lot of electrical connection, there's a lot of wiring involved, and you wire it for yourself based on the diagram. And you can control a motor, start, stop, and forward, reverse by just wiring itself. You don't program something, right? But in this elective, you will control an output, light, buzzer, motor by programming. So you can see the differences between the two. So maybe you have had a hard time reading, have a hard time wiring, because there's a lot of electrical connection. But in the PLC itself, it can be eliminated. Though may wiring siya, pero you can eliminate some of those because a PLC is also a relay. It works also as contactor that gives switch. It gives an output to the motor, to the lamp. So like that. So fast response, easy programming and installation. As you can see, there's no delay when operating a PLC itself. It's a very fast response. Once you program, once you upload, you download the program, it is real time, no delay. I don't know if you experience some delay on the microcontroller itself. I think it is also a fast response. But if you PLC also have network capability. It can be connected through the internet. It can be connected from one place to another. It can be connected from one country to another country. It is specified for that PLC. Okay? So in the PLC also, I will teach you some basic networks. Diba pag sinabing networks is above IT, di ba, sa mga information technology. So they are good in networks. So since you are an electrical engineer, we should know something about networks or networking. So who is familiar with the IP address, kung tawagin, yung Internet Protocol address? So di ba yan yung 192.168.1.0? Do you encounter this? Ito ba na-open sa inyo? Or you know something about this? IP address ni computer, IP address ni laptop, IP address ni modem, something address ni cellphone. So familiar ba kayo dito? O4 sa networks yan. Ba networks yan. So I'll be teaching you some these things. So hindi ko naman lalaliman kagaya ng pagkakaalam ng IT, but since we are EE, we should know something about this. So why this is very important in PLC? Because PLC use IP address to connect from the internet, to connect from one laptop to another laptop. So it is very important for you to know something about networks or networking. So hindi ko naman kayo tuturuan ng sobrang lalim ng dapat alam mo to pang IT. So since we are in electrical engineering, we are dealing with PLC, we should know something. We should know basic IP addresses. Because you can change that, you can modify that in order for you to connect PLC from a laptop or for one place to another or from PLC to PLC. So communication. PLC is able to communicate from one place to another, from one country to another country. So that is a PLC capable of. So why it is, you're realizing why PLC is the most widely used controller in industrial automation, right? So PLC designed for multiple input and output. I know you use an Arduino. An Arduino uses also input and output, right? I/O. So meron din yon. May pin, di ba? May pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 13, I think. And PLC also designed for that. Okay, so but it is more heavy duty than a microcontroller itself. Okay, so mas matibay si PLC. Why? Manufacturers use a PLC. So, O4, I know you are in the major of machine automation and you are thinking something about prototype. So, I want you to consider using this controller in your prototype. So, but I'm not requiring you to use this. I'm just giving you a consideration that maybe I can use a PLC. Or if I'm a student, maybe I'm considering a PLC to use it on my prototype itself. Though it is costly than a microcontroller, so I'm not forbidding you, I'm not banning you to use a microcontroller or an Arduino in order to automate your prototype. But I want you to consider a PLC using this because yun din ang hinahanap globally. So I'm training you, my students, to be internationally ready. Because maybe this PLC will be the key for you to go to abroad because you know something about this. Okay? So I want you to consider this using as your controller in order to automate your prototype. So I'm not banning you to Do not use a microcontroller itself. So I'm just giving you a consideration. I'm just teaching you what a PLC can do. So roughly, so if you have price, baka makakakita ka to second hand, 20,000 plus. So that it is just a controller itself. So costly siya compare kay microcontroller Arduino. So magkano ba ang bili mo kay Arduino? 900, 600, 700. So something like that. Sa mo pa nabili? Sa LX Hub. Diba? Doon mo binibili yan. So sa PLC, hindi mo siya mabibili basta-basta sa tabi-tabi. So mabibili mo siya, syempre, sa mga Schneider, sa mga large companies. So it is costly, but I'm telling you, it is more effective when in order to automate the process. Okay? So it is up to you. It depends on the budget. I know you experience how to program a microcontroller. So if telling you, if you experience programming a PLC itself, ma-realize nyo, laking kaibahan, laking aluan. Okay? So, PLC was used to replace relay logic. So, relay, yun yung ginamit nyo ng laboratory last time, nung elective 1 natin. That is a relay. This is a relay system. You don't program something, but you can control a motor, you can control an output, you can control lights without programming itself. Okay? So, ito yung itsura ng PLC natin. And there's a lot of brands you can encounter in this PLC. So I'm telling you, we're using this one. This is the Schneider. This is from Schneider. Ano? So if you know how to operate this, if you know how to connect it from the computer, if you know how to use this, the operation of this one, and how to program this, you can easily navigate through various PLC components. Okay. So my experience, last time when I built my project, so I used this PLC. Allen Bradley. So it is my first time to use a Schneider, but I'm able to navigate it because I know how to use an Allen Bradley. So same to you. If you know how to use a Schneider, you can navigate this. This is one also common. Siemens, that is the Siemens. Oo, nakarinig nyo na yung brand ng Siemens. So Siemens is also widely used in the manufacturing setup. So Allen Bradley and Siemens and Mitsubishi ang pinakaginagamit. So recently yung mga nakikita ko. Pero internationally, kung anong available, gagamitin nila yan. So I want you to take down note of this PLC brands. Baka mapasali na naman sa midterms. Tapos ipa-numerate na naman sa inyo. Tapos wala na namang may sulat. So sayang. Okay? So this is very important for you to be familiarized with different brands, with different types of PLC. Okay? So advantages. So if we say relay system, yung relay system yung ginawa nyo last time. Yung tinuro ko sa inyo with contactor, push button, motor. So that is a relay system. You control a motor, you control an output without programming. So but this time you will control an output with programming. So that's the differences. Okay? You've been taught about conventional kasi relay system. Kasi na unang panahon walang PLC. They are using relay system. Or tight budget, they use a relay system. So it is important for you to learn that before we go to the PLC on the programming itself. So it is for the first advantage, it has increased reliability. So once the program is written and it is tested and it is already working, na-judge na yan. You can share it from different users, from different PLC, kasi yung program, yun na yun. Unlike dun sa relay, pagka may kailangan kang palitan na connection, may kailangan kang palitan na process, you will change the wiring itself. You will change the addressing. Pero dito, if you have the program, imbis na mag-adjust ka sa wiring itself, kahit hindi mo ibuin ng wiring, you can easily adjust it to the program itself. So that's one of the main advantages. If you have the program, you can easily navigate it. You can easily modify, you can easily interchange the program, and in order to attain the desired output. So that's one of the main advantages. So it is more flexible. As I'm telling you, it is easier to create and change a program than to rewire a circuit. So if you want something change, if you want something process na hindi ka na satisfied, may gusto kang palitan, rather to wire and rewire yung buong system mo, just change it to the program itself. So that is one of the main advantages why PLC is used in large-scale manufacturing. Hindi sila rewire ng rewire, may gusto na silang palitang process. They just easily change it to the program itself. Okay? So, lower cost. As you can see, pag lower cost, mas mamura daw pag naka-PLC system. Yes, because mababawasan yung mga contactor mo, mababawasan yung mga relays mo, mababawasan lahat yung mga auxiliary contacts mo. Because lahat ng input and output mo, padadaanin mo kay PLC. At doon mo lang siya po-program. So, mas less components, bibili ka lang ng isang PLC, less components mabibili mo, it means lower cost talaga. Okay? So, communications, I'm telling you a while ago, so, PLC is capable to be interconnected with another PLC, interconnected with other computers, with other users from one place to another, from one country to another country. Because PLC is capable of communications protocol. Okay? It uses an Ethernet, if you know the Ethernet, the LAN local area network, and the IP address. I don't know kung yun ay nagagawa ng Arduino. So maybe nagagawa niya din yun. Pero may bibiling ka ding specific hardware. Pero dito sa PLC itself, if you buy one PLC, yun na yun. Kahit yung Schneider natin, kaya yung i-communicate. Okay? So, faster response time, I'm telling you, mas mabilis siya. Pinakamabilis yan. This is the most advanced automation controller used nowadays, internationally. So, kaya ako ulit ko sinasabi sa inyo, 04, I graduated here in the BSU na hindi ako maalam nito. And I don't know something about this. So, since isa puso lang na din natin yung National Engineering University, it is a blessing for you. It is a great milestone for you, every one of you, to learn something like this. You know, to learn. Para bago matapos, I'm telling you, isa ito sa pinakagagamitin nyo sa trabaho. Itong elective na to. Okay? Makikita nyo ito, maparin nyo ka man, or mapa-automation. Makikita mo yan. Okay? So, yan, easier to troubleshoot. O katulad nung elective 1 natin, kapag may mali kayong connection, hinahanap nyo, di ba? Hinahanap nyo isa-isa. So, dito sa PLC, ibibigay niya kung saan may mali. Ibibigay niya kung saan ang fault. Ibibigay niya where does an abnormal condition occur. PLC is ready to notify the user, the operator, the personnel what's happening to the system itself. So when an abnormal condition occurs in the process control itself, it is ready to notify the user, the operator. So that is the main advantages. Unlike nung ginagawa niyo nung una, you are troubleshooting it. You are looking for one-by-one connection. You're looking for the diagram. So though it is very also important for you to learn that, hindi ko yun dinidisregard, kailangan talaga matuto ka nun in order to troubleshoot. So though PLC will help you, will diagnose those abnormal condition, those fault, but you electrical engineer will want to correct it. Gets nyo ka? Bibigay lang niya sa inyo yung mali. Pero sino magtatama nun? Kayo. Kaya dapat marunong talaga kayo sa diagram, sa connection, sa tester, sa multimeter, sa clamp meter, because PLC will only tell you what's happening to the system, what fault or abnormal condition occurs to the system itself. But you are the one who is going to correct it. You are the one who's going to replace it kung may kailangan palitan. So, tutulungan ka lang ni PLC, pero at the end of the day, ikaw ang gagawa nun. Kaya kayo tinuturuan ng laboratory, kaya kayo tinuturuan mag-hands-on. So, do you understand, 04? So, nadyan pa ga? Gising pa? Baka natulog na ulit? So, baka tulog uli ha? Yan. Okay, so, thank you for your response. Ano? So, ayan, I want you to take down of note of this. Baka mapa-midterms na naman, tapos essay na naman, wala na naman masulat. So, sayang. So, I'm telling a lot of things na wala dito sa PowerPoint. Okay? So, ito kasi nakasummarize na eh. Summarize na yan. So, next. So, advantages. So, yan. As you can see, ito yung relay system. O, katulad dito, it is similar doon sa ginamit natin ng elective 1. Marami kang relay, marami kang contactor, marami kang breakers or anything. And you know something about this. You know how it works. You know how it operates. And you know how to read a diagram. You need how to read a circuit diagram. Because naturuan kayo, nakapag-hands-on kayo kahit papano. Okay? That is a relay-based control system. You control a motor, you control an output without programming itself. But it is compared to the PLC itself, yes, meron siyang wiring. Pero hindi siya ganun kadami katulad nung kanina. Because mapapalitan na ng mga relay, mga contactor, mga 5 contactor, pwede mo nang idiretsa doon sa PLC. Something like that. So, kaya lower cost, bumili ka na isang PLC, may eliminate na yung pagbili mo ng sobrang daming ganito. because yung input and output ni PLC is serving as a relay itself. So that's why it have lower cost kapag mag-ooperate ka ng PLC itself. Unlike sa relay system, nabibili ka na sobrang daming relay, contactors. So alam nyo, di ba? Relay at contactor, alam yung purpose noon. Switch, electromechanically switch na nag-i-switch sa motor, sa ilaw. So si PLC, pag bumili ka, it is built up with that operation. So kaya lower cost. May eliminate yung sobrang daming connection, may eliminate yung sobrang daming wiring. So ayun, sinishare ko lang sa inyo based on the visual. Sa visual kasi sobrang dami ng relay. Marami kang connection, marami kang wiring. But dito sa PLC itself, okay, so you can eliminate some of those. Kaya mas mapapakaunti yung components mo, mas mapapaunti yung diagram mo, wiring diagram, mas mapapakaunti at mas makakatipid ka. So, yan, alam ko, some of you, majority of you ay tapos na dito or ibinaon na sa limot. Hindi ko alam kung na-enjoy ba kayo dyan or natuwa ba kayong gamitin yan. So this is a PLC from Siemens. So ito, mas malaki ito compare dito. Ito maliit ito kaya mo itong ibulsa. Ito hindi mo to kayang ibulsa, malaki. Malaki ito, okay? So I know you use this one. You use an Arduino, you know how to control this, even it came from the ChatGPT and you are copying, pasting it in the Arduino IDE itself. So, nandun na yung essence. Pero I know, you know how to use this. You know what's the purpose of these numbers, of this power supply. This power supply, yan ang power supply niyan. Diyan mo yung kinoconnect, di ba? So, DC to, DC. So, sa PLC, so as we go on, ituturo ko sa inyo. So, what is the difference between the two? If I ask you something, what is the operation of a microcontroller, I expect you know something. You use it. Bumili ka niyan, ginamit mo, kinonect mo sa laptop mo, pinagpatakbo ka. So, especially, input and output. Input and output din si microcontroller, right? Si PLC, ganun din. Yun nga lang, mas flexible, mas marami siyang kayang gawin. So, yun lang yung difference niya between input and output. And input and output of PLC is mas madami compared kay microcontroller itself. Saka yung input and output ni PLC ay na-extend mo. Na-extend. Kunyari, kulang ako. Bumili ako ng PLC. Ang nabili ko lang is 15 input and output. Pag nagkulang ko, kaya kong bumili ng module. Module lang nabibili mo. Hindi ka bibili ng isa pang PLC, ha? Hindi ka pa bibili. Mas mahal yon. Input and output module lang. Kaya mo siyang dagdagan. Unlike yung microcontroller itself, pag nagkulang ka ng input and output, anong ginagawa nyo? Nabili ng isang microcontroller para madagdagan ang input and output. Diba ganon? Bibili ka ulit ang controller, di ipoprogram mo din. Pero kay PLC itself, pag nagkulang ka ng input and output, specifically, you can easily extend it with a module and yun lang ulit yung program mo. Madadagdagan lang. So yun, ang isang advantages. So, PLC have more than one CPU. You know CPU, di ba? Nakikita natin yun sa PC, sa laptop, sa cellphone. So, microcontroller uses also CPU, but PLC is far way better than the microcontroller. Mas malaki yung CPU niya, mas malaki yung kaya niyang i-process. Kaya siya ay one of the main reason why it is used in industrial automation because of the capacity of its central processing unit or the CPU. Okay? So PLC have pre-built, well-tried and tested hardware and software. As you can see on the picture a while ago, we know PLC is more heavy-duty. It can withstand vibration, it can withstand noise, it can withstand interference in a large-scale setup. Pero pag gagamit ka ng microcontroller, I'm telling you, hindi ka makakakita ng microcontroller sa mga malalaking process control. So PLC ang ginagamit nila. Okay? So PLC generally have redundancies built in. Okay? Single fault. As I told you a while ago, it can notify the operator, it can notify the personnel if something abnormal condition happens to the process control itself, on the process itself. Okay? So, distributed I/O remote, as I told you a while ago, so you can extend it, you can easily extend it pag nagkulang ka. You don't need to buy another PLC in order to extend input and output of the PLC. You will just need the module itself. Have ability to bridge many open communication. I'm telling you, PLC is capable of communicating with one PLC to another, one laptop to another laptop, from one place to another place. It is what PLC consists of. Can communicate. So teaching you. I'll be opening some networks, IP addresses, how to interchange it, how to modify it from your system in order just to connect the PLC itself. I will be teaching you that. Okay, so yung basic lang, yung basic IT, basic information technology. So we need to learn you need to be familiarized with that terms because we're using PLC, you will communicate it. Okay? So are more reliable and robust to use. So mas matibay, mas heavy duty. Okay? So much longer than the microcontroller. So mas matibay talaga siya. Though lahat 'yan mas mapupunta sa end life, mas pupunta sa sira, pero it is very assured that PLC can last longer than the Arduino itself. Okay? So I know, you remember this one. IDE, di ba? Arduino IDE, you download it from the shop on the website, you download, it is free, and you get program from the ChatGPT, all program, you just copy paste it here and you upload, you check, magkukulay green yan, and you upload from your device, so gagana na yan. So kapag kami kailangan kang paltan, anong pinapaltan mo, your code is from the ChatGPT, I think this one, this is the pin, di ba, pin yan doon sa Arduino. So if you want to change the pin to the 12, dilalagay mo 12. Siyempre, yung LED mo, i-connect mo sa 12. So, di ba? Ganun yon. So, 11, i-connect mo sa 11. Breadboard, di ba? Sa breadboard mo siya pinapadaan. Breadboard. Okay? So, meron ka dito pin mode o LED. O, pag sinabing LED, you know LED is an output. Right? Ang ilaw, output yon. Ang mga input, push button, sensor, solenoid. Pero pag output, motors, LED, buzzer, sirena, so lahat ng nagpo-produce ng output. And you have digital write. What is the meaning of digital write? Tunuro ka sa inyo yan. Ano yan? Ano pag sinabing digital write? Sa microcontroller, ha? Pag sinabing digital write, out4. Digital write. What do you mean? As you can see, LED, high, low. So what is the meaning of digital write? Anong turo sa inyo? Ano to? Anong ginagawa niyan? Kayo, based on your understanding ng ginawa niyo yan, ano ang pag sinabing digital write? Anong ginagawa niyan? O4. Ang pagkakaintindi mo, kasi ginagamit mo yung program na yan, ina-upload mo. Supposed to be dapat medyo familiar ka kung ano yung kung ano yan. So for anyone, what do you think? Pag nag-change ng state yung isang pin, yes, that is correct. Ano, pag change ng state. So meaning it is depending on high or low or off or on or 1 or 0. So digital write. So digital write is also will be using also here in the PLC. Pero so you can see from the other picture, ito yung PLC programming. So, ganyan ang pagpaprogram ng PLC. Compare dito kay microcontroller, it uses a lot of text. Dito, it uses a lot of figures and contacts. So, normally open contact, normally close. And this is coil. Output yan. Maybe this is a motor, ilaw. It depends. So, itong mga contacts na ito sa pauna, ito mga push button yan, sensor. As you can see from the figure itself, you will learn how to program this by using figures and blocks and diagrams rather than typing it came from the ChatGPT and you just copy paste it. You can search a PLC program from the ChatGPT and it will show you, but you cannot directly copy paste it on our software. So that is the difference between the two. You need to learn how to use, you need to learn how to navigate the software programming. Yung software natin gagamitin, yung software ni Schneider, you need to learn that. Yes, you can get an idea from the ChatGPT. I'm not forbidding you to use that. But you cannot easily copy-paste. Hindi mo talaga siya makaka-copy-paste. Hindi, never. Kahit sa ang software, hindi kaya. So, gagawin at bubuuin mo talaga yun from the hardware itself. From the software itself, I mean, sa programming. So, ito, binigyan ko lang kayo ng itsura na magiging programming ninyo. So, ituturo ko to as we go on our lecture, as we go on our course. So, dadating tayo dito, maintindihan mo to, paano mo to i-connect from hardware to software. So, the difference. So, ikaw, by looking at the figure, ano mas pipiliin mo programming? Ano mas madali? Siyempre, ito. So, take note, ready na to, inilalagay mo lang yan dyan. Nadudo na yan sa software. O, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, o click, drag. Yun, buo na ang program. Unlike dito, na itinatype mo pa. So ngayon, may ChatGPT na. So mabilis, madali. So ito, click, drag, upload. Tapos ang program. Mag-interchange ka lang dun sa wiring mo. Okay? O 4, do you still follow? So naintindihan ang differences. So nag-ano lang ako, nag-summarize lang ako ng differences between the two. Ano mga, bakit PLC? Gusto ko ma-appreciate nyo, gusto ko malaman nyo kung bakit PLC ang ginagamit. Nowadays. So, ayan, all the logic is contained in the PLC memory. So, we know that you read something read-only in random access memory. So, you know that term is not new to you. When you're buying a laptop, when you're buying a computer, when you're buying a cell phone, you are looking for the RAM itself, right? You're looking for higher RAM, meaning faster. So, 16 gig RAM, 24 gig RAM. So, something like that. The computer itself, the laptop, 8 gig RAM. So, higher the RAM, meaning mas mabilis. Okay? So, tanong ko lang O4. Kasi hindi naman bago sa inyo yung, narinig nyo na yung ROM sa yung RAM. So, as itong RAM, hindi bago to sa inyo. Based on your own understanding. So, what is the purpose of RAM? Generally, kasi PLC may RAM din eh. So, laptop, computer, or cellphone, what is the purpose of it? Anong ginagawa nito? Nga, O4? Any idea? Anong ginagawa niyan? RAM. Yes? Sino yun? Yes, anyone? Yes, Floyd? RAM?
Ang RAM po ay kung ilan po yung, halimbawa, yung pong gagana po sa ganitong oras, kung ilan po yung bukas. Kung ilan po lang po yung kayang patakbuhin.
Okay. So, tama yun. Meaning sa application yun, si Aldri, pampabilis. Tama naman, pampabilis yan. Pampabilis ng process, pampabilis ng application. Especially sa laptop, mo. Bukas ang Google Chrome mo, bukas ang Spotify, bukas ang Netflix, bukas ang lahat ng different application mo. Meaning, pag mas mataas yung RAM mo, it is capable to run those multiple application. Temporary storage, yes. Yun, pag mas marami kang application at mataas yung RAM mo, it can easily run it because your random access memory is high. Pero pag mas mababa yan at nagpatakbo ka ng maraming application, experience ka ng lag, kung tawagin. Lag. So, alam niyo yung lag. Sa ML, sa Dota, lag. Pag lag, so, may bubiwisit ka, mapafrustrate ka kasi nagtitigil-tigil yan. Okay? So, yes, tama yan. Temporary storage yan. Ang RAM, as I've told you, nagbukas ka ng maraming application, ma-hold dyan sa RAM. Siya ang bahalang sa data noon. Pero pag pinagka-close mo yung mga application na yan, mawawala din lahat ng data yun na in-store mo dun sa RAM. So, typically, okay, so ang RAM, that is volatile. So, tama yun. Pag pinatay mo, mawawala lahat yun. I'm telling you, pag kinulose mo lahat ng application mo, mawawala lahat ng data. So, short-term memory lang yan. Short-term. So, meaning, real-time. So, pag nagbukas ako ngayon, nag-operate ako, gagala si RAM. So, pag nasa RAM ko, I can run multiple of application. I can run multiple processes. Ganon din kay PLC. So, pag dami ng program mo, pagtaas ng RAM mo, pag dami mo nito pag dami ng input and output, the PLC can process it itself because ang RAM niya malaki. Okay, so RAM, pag sinabi mo namang ROM, so kabaliktaran yan ay non-volatile. Pag sinabing non-volatile, long-term, kahit patayin mo ang system mo, kahit patayin mo si PLC itself, yung data noon nakasave sa loob. Nakasave sa kanyang ROM or doon sa read-only memory. So, yun ang difference between itself. So, those two is very important. Okay, so hindi gagana yan without each other. So, yung ROM, nag-upload ako ng program kay PLC. Nakasave kay PLC kahit patayin ko si PLC because of my read-only memory or the non-volatile memory, the program itself will directly save to the PLC itself and until I turn on again, I run the PLC itself, nadudun pa rin yung program niya because of my ROM. Yung aking memory na yun. Nagse-save siya kahit patayin mo siya. Unlike kay RAM na typically na real-time lang. Pag nag-box ng application, yun lang ng iyon. So, pag pinatay ko yung application na yun, wala na. So, short-term versus long-term memory. Okay? So, do you understand between the two? This is a technical term for you. Very important for you to learn. Okay? So, kaya ko to shinare because meron niya ng PLC. Kailangan mo ng RAM para ma-process yung iyong application para ma-process yung software mo. Pero yung ROM, kailangan mo yun para mag-save yung program mo doon sa loob ng PLC. Kahit patayin mo yan at buhayin mo ulit, nakasave. Okay? So, just me. So, next. So, ayan, na relationship between input and output. So, PLC also is input and nakabase yan sa input and output. So, lahat ng inputs mo, syempre, ilalagay mo sa input side. Lahat ng push button, limit switch, sensor, lahat ng input na alam mo, sa input side mo ilalagay. Hindi mo ilalagay sa output. Though hindi naman yan gagana kasi madedetect ni PLC na yan ay pang-input. So, pero wag mo na lang subukan. Baka kasi masira. Okay? So, lahat ng contactors, ilaw, solenoid, okay, or motors, lahat ng output, siren, lahat ng output na alam mo, kaya output side mo ilalagay. So, simple. Katulad lang din ng Arduino, di ba? Naglagay ka ng ilaw, naglagay ka ng push button, o pinapagana mo yung ilaw using a push button. So, similar here in the PLC. Lahat ng input side mo, sa input. Lahat ng output mo sa output. And it will be run through a PLC program. So, if I click push button, so pwedeng umilaw ito. So, dapat gagawin mo yun sa program mo. So, paulit-ulit lang. So, since kung papanoodin mo, kung makikinig ka sa akin, parang ang simple lang, di ba? So, pero I want you, every one of you, to learn this one. Kahit yung basic. Kailangan ko matuto kayo ng how to navigate, how to use a PLC in hardware and software. And syempre yung theory. Okay? So, inputs and outputs Next, communication module. So, you know IoT, Industrial Internet of Things. You know, AI is used nowadays. Hindi kayo pinipigilat gumamit ng AI. Pero syempre, use AI effectively, wisely. Hindi naman siya AI lang iaasa mo lahat. So, talong ko lang, parang may nababasa kayo something article that in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, AI will replace jobs of the first people. Tama ba yun? Kayo, lagay nyo lang yung sarili nyo. Kayo, electrical engineers. O graduate kayo, may lisensya kayo, nagpa-practice na kayo. So, do you think AI can replace your work as an electrical engineer? What is your opinion on that? Yun ang tanong ko sa inyo. So, what do you think? Yung AI ba kaya nga replace ang trabaho nyo as electrical engineer? Sige nga. O for? Kaya ba nun i-replace? Kayo, isipin nyo, next 10 years from now, isipin nyo kung nasasan kayo ngayon, tapos 10 years from now, you practice electrical engineering, madami na kayong experience. Yung mga experience na yun, ay kayang palitan ng AI. Anong comment niyo doon? Hindi. So, yun, sabi, hindi daw, thumbs down. So, technically speaking, hindi, di ba? Hindi, di ba? Hindi niyan mapapalitan kasi yung experience na yun based on the actual experience. Ang ibibigay sa iyo ni AI is theoretical experience, theoretical query, theoretical cue, theoretical learnings. Mostly. Pero yung hands-on experience mo at yung actual experience mo based on what is happening on the real world itself, ikaw ang makakaalam nun. Hindi si AI. So, AI is good. Is a guide. It will help you to start from something. If you want to do something, if you want to write a paper, you can consult on AI and AI will help you to start something. Pero it does not mean na you will put all the inputs and outputs coming from AI. You will just copy-paste it from your Microsoft Word and you will submit to me. So not like that. I want your real input, what based on what you understand, what I'm telling here for you, what I'm telling here in our discussion. So madami akong sinasabi na wala dyan. So kaya nga dapat na-attend ka, nakikinig ka, and you are paying attention on this class. So, okay? AI is that. Tinotolerate ko kayong gamitin yun, pero wisely ha. Wisely. I also use AI, pero hindi lagi. Especially pag sa actual nagkaka-trouble. I consult AI. Honestly, I consult AI. Pero not all the time, ibibigay niya lahat yung proper solution. Yun na, yun lang yung aking experience. Ikaw at ikaw pa rin ang gagawa ng paraan. AI will just guide you only what the first thing to do when something happens. Pero the one who will do it, the one who will execute it is you. You, electrical engineer. You, especially, O4. Kayo ang gagawa nun. Yun yung gusto ko ma-achieve nyo dito. Yun yung gusto ko ma-realize nyo. Okay? So, expansion, flexible, you can communicate it from one place to another. In expansion, you can expand the input and output. And you can integrate it with another PLC, with another HMI, with another variable frequency drive or SCADA systems. So marami kang kayang gawin kay PLC. Kaya mo siyang integrate, i-communicate in all aspects. Distance, sabi ko nga, naabot yan from one country to another country as long as may internet kayo. Both ends have both ends. Kaya mong mag-program from, kakuha ka ng trabaho, work from home, PLC programming. So, nandito ako sa bahay, nagpo-program ako ng PLC, and kaya kong padala yung program ko doon. So, kunyari, sa Spain, kaya ko ipadala ang program ko papunta sa Spain kahit nandito ako sa Pilipinas. Okay, so ganun siya kadali. Maano mo na siya ha, may upload mo siya directly mismo doon sa PLC. Hindi mo kailangan i-copy-paste yung program at isend mo doon sa tao doon at siya ang maglalagay. Hindi, ikaw mismo ang mag-upload ng program mo papunta doon kay PLC. So that is the one most advantages na meron si PLC. Okay? So parts of the PLC, yan, punta ako dito sa parts ng PLC. So this is very important na magkameron kayo ng idea regarding this one. Isa-isahin naman natin dito. We have the architecture, input-output, power supply, processor, programming device. So isa-isahin natin. So working principle, as you can see on the picture, so meron kang input section. Sa input section, nadyan ang push button, nadyan ang sensor, limit switch, sensor, lahat ng input side. So pupunta siya kay PLC. At si PLC itself, meaning kailangan niya ng power supply. Kung yan baga ay 24 volts, kailan ba ay 220 volts or 110 volts from other countries. So it need power supply in order the PLC to work. So the CPU, the memory, and the communication will process what is happening, what is the input is telling, in order to give information what the output will do. So ganun lang ang basic operation niya. Just like the microcontroller, input and output din. So syempre walang output kung walang input. Hindi gagana ang output kung hindi ka nag-input unless kung i-manual mo doon sa program, gagana ang output. Pero technically speaking, lagi tayo magsisimula sa input, lahat ng push button, lahat ng input na meron ka, you will connect it to the input side and you need to power up those input. Kailangan itong may power supply. Kailangan mo din ng power supply ng PLC itself. So sa PLC mo, hindi gagana ng walang power supply, walang program. Hindi yan gagana, walang program. Hindi niyan alam ang gagawin niya doon sa input and output. And yung output itself, ang bahala mag-adjust kung ano sinasabi ni CPU, ni memory, ni PLC itself. Siyang bahala. So, ganun lang ang working principle niyan. As you can see on the other picture, input sensing devices. Meron akong push button. Ito, normally open. Start. Start ito stop. Flow meter of temperature sensor or limit switch. Lahat ng meron akong input, ilalagay ko sa input side ni PLC. Okay? And supposed to be dapat lahat may power supply. Ang aking input at output. So, kailangan din ng supply ng push buttons ko na limit switch kung man ay 24 volts or 220 voltage AC. And syempre, yung laptop ko or computer ang mag-upload ng program dito kay PLC. At pag nangyari yon, nag-process ako, nagpindot ako ng push button. So, yung signal ko pupunta kay PLC, ipaprocess ni PLC, and ibibigay niya kay output kung ano man yung gustong buhayin ng push button ko, kung motor man or ilaw. So that is the basic operation of the PLC itself. Just like input and output. So you need power supply, you need a program to the PLC in order to navigate, in order to integrate the input and output section. Okay, so nagigets kung paano ito? So bago natin ito isa-isahin, so ito ang basic operation ng PLC itself. Ganito ang nangyayari when we are in operation of the PLC. Okay? So isa-isahin natin. So, architecture. Ano pag sinabing PLC architecture? So, pwede yung hardware or software or both. So, dalawa kasi yan. Meron tayong open, meron tayong close. Pag sinabing open, you can easily connect. You can easily integrate PLC from one place to another PLC even in different brands. So, pwede siya maging open to each other, open to each different brand. Kunyari, I have ABB and you have Schneider and we have to communicate both PLC. Pwede yun kasi open. Pwede siya. Pero pagka ang PLC mo is closed, so whose design is proprietary, so para doon lang siya, yung gagamitin nating PLC, closed yun Para doon lang talaga yun. Yung software niya para doon, yung program niya para doon. Hindi ko siya pwedeng i-share sa another PLC, sa another brand ng PLC. So may nagamit ng open pero bihira. So sa large scale industrial setup. They use open architecture PLC. But if they are using it as closed architecture, most widely, they're using it from one process to another process. They're using closed. Kayo, gagawin natin yung Schneider that is closed. Meaning, ang design niya para doon lang, ang programming software niya para doon lang, ang program niya para doon lang. So that's the difference between two. Again, before I proceed with the next, so pag open architecture, you can share another PLC from one PLC to another brand of PLC. Kunyari, nag-program ko kay ABB, i-share ko dun kay Mitsubishi, pwede yun as long as both PLC is in open architecture. If I have closed architecture, if I have Schneider only, it is built for that programming software, programming language, from that application, doon lang siya. So meaning, 1:1 ratio. Doon lang at para doon. Like kay Open, na they can interchange information. They can interchange protocols from one PLC to another PLC, from one place to another place. So, naintindihan na pinagkaiba ng close open. So, baka pag natanong na naman, sana ay may sagot. So, take note, architecture can be referred to the hardware or software. Maalin yun. As long as open, pwede ka sa hardware, pwede ka sa software, pwede mo siyang i-share both. Pag close, di para doon lang. So, ano mas mahal dyan? Pag bibili ka ng PLC, syempre itong open. Not lagi yung choice, hindi lagi yung choice. So, depende sa process, depende sa application na paggagamitan mo. Okay? So, maliwanag tayo, O4. Nandiyan pa kayo sa architecture? Nandiyan pa kayo, 4, gising pa? Okay, so makinig ha. So, sayang ang learnings pagka ano. Okay, next. So, input and output. Architecture, alam mo ng open and close architecture ng PLC. So, depende kung sa ano application. Ito sa fix. Typical small PLC that come one in package with no separate or removable. Yung Schneider natin gagamitin, typically fix na yon. Ano yun? Fix na. Pag sinabing fix, bumili ako ng PLC, I have 20 inputs, 20 outputs. So, ito lang yan. Wala akong separate. Fix na yan. Fix na yan sa 20, fix na yan sa 20 input, 20 output. So, pwede mo naman yang i-extend na sinasabi ko kanina. Bibili ka ng module. Iko-connect mo, pwede mo i-connect. Kunyari, gusto mo ay 30 input or 30 outputs. So, pwede naman yan, though may bibilin ka. Hindi PLC mismo bibilin mo ha. Input module and output module. So, bukod na nabibili yon. So, gagastos ka ng kaunti pero hindi ganong kamahal na pagbili ng bagong PLC. So, para ma-extend mo yung input and output kasi kailangan mo pa ng process, so you will just add it. Pero ang fixed I/O, technically speaking, bibili ka ng PLC, katulad nito, yan, itong PLC na ito, bumili ka ng fixed I/O, yan na yun. Kung mag-extend ka man, di bibili ka ng module, i-connect mo ulit sa address niyan. So, dadating tayo doon, huwag kayong mag-alala. Okay, so fixed I/O. Ito, pag sinabing fixed I/O, take note, ito yung ating PLC kong tinatawag. Ito. Ito yung Schneider natin gagamitin. Ito yung model. Okay? So, ito yung input side. Input. Ito yung output. Yan. So, yan ha. May idea na kayo kung saan mo ilalagay ang mga push button, saan mo ilalagay ang mga sensor, mga limit switch dito sa taas. Kasi yan ang input. At yung mga ilaw, mga buzzer, mga motor, mga contactor, mga relay dito sa ilalim. Because that is an output. So, yan ang fixed I/O. Pag sinabing fixed I/O, bumili akong Schneider. Dumating si Schneider PLC. So, ilan ba to? 23. Input niya 23. Hanggang 23 daw. Tapos, ang output ko hanggang 15. So, something like that. So, meaning fixed na yan. Okay, fixed na. So, kung gusto mo siyang i-extend, edi bibili ka nga ng sinasabi kong module. So, mamaya makikita niyo yung picture noon. So, bibili ka noon at i-extend mo dito sa output. So, pero kung technically speaking, if we are dealing with fixed PLC, fixed I/O, yan na yun. Pag binili mo, yan na yun. So, as you can see on the another diagram, no? Turo ko lang yung basic diagram. Meron akong push button. O meron akong sensor. O kung ano mang symbol niyan. Dapat familiar na kayo dito. Sinend ko to last time. So, review. So, 'di ba, yung push button ko, dito tayo sa push button. Yung isang side ko ng push button, papunta ako sa supply o meaning line 1 o meaning AC, line 1 line 1. At yung isang side ko ng push button, ilalagay ko sa input. So, meaning yung isang side ng PLC, ng isang side nung push button, ilalagay ko siya dito. O, ito push button. O, push button 'yan. Okay? O, push button, yung isang side ko na doon sa input at yung isang side ko ng push button, ilalagay ko sa supply. So, ganun ang pagkaka-connect niyan. Okay? So, ganun lang din kay output. O, line 2, digay line 1 at line 2. Yung line 2 nung isang connection ko, kunyari itong ilaw. O, may ilaw ako dito, may ilaw. Lights. At ito, nakalagay sa line 2. At yung isang ito, nakalagay sa output. At iproprogram mo siya kay PLC. Ipoprogram mo siya. Pag pinindot mo si light, piniston mo si push button, dapat iilaw itong output. So, iilaw yan. So, yan. Ganun siya kasimple. Ganun siya mag-operate. Before, do you understand? Ano yung sinabi ko? Paano siya ginagawa? Paano siya i-connect? Tapos paano siya ipoprogram? So, yan o. Siyempre, pag wala kang program at ito ay pinipindot mo, hindi gagana. Dapat may program. Hindi gagana. So, kahit yan ay nakakonect ng ganyan at ito ay pinipindot mo, so don't expect na iilaw yan. So, depende sa PLC. Merong ganon. Pero, majority ay hindi. So, pag pinindot mo yan, dapat iilaw si light. So, dapat yung program mo ay magsasatisfy dun sa sinasabi mong condition. So, pag pinindot mo si push button, iilaw si lighting. Oh, and so on. Oh. Marami siyang input. Oh, input, ilalagay ko sa line 1. So, pag may isa pa akong push button, gusto ko ulit ng push button, edi ganun lang ulit. Lagay sa kabila. Lagay ulit sa supply. And gusto ko ulit ng isa pang ilaw. Ganun lang ulit. Yun, tapos sa supply. So, ma-witness nyo yan pagka tayo ay nag-hands-on. Meron tayong hands-on. Gagamitin nyo tong PLC na to. So, fix I/O. Yan ha, pagka fix I/O. May isa pa tayong I/O. Ito yung modular. Ito yung napapa-extend mo talaga based sa nabili mong PLC. Yan o, divided by compartments into which separate modules can be plugged. So, tandaan nyo lang, pag fix I/O, typically yan ay close architecture. Close. O, katilad close. Kalimitan ha, pero hindi lagi. Kalimitan lang, mostly, pero hindi lagi. So, close yan. Pag modular naman, nakakabili ka from different, you can choose from modules available for manufacturing. Mix them any way you desire. So, meaning, we can say it is an open architecture. So, not all the time, but siguro mostly, pero hindi lagi. It depends pa rin sa PLC manufacturer. So, pag naka-modular I/O, you're expecting something like an open architecture that I can buy it from another brand. Something like, example, I have a Schneider PLC and it has modular I/O. And I can assume it is an open architecture. I can buy input module from Siemens and I can easily connect it from my Schneider because I'm operating an open architecture PLC. So, something like that. So, but not all the time, ha? Not all the time. Natandaan nyo, baka pag napasal si true or false, all modular PLC is an open architecture. So, false yun, hindi lagi. Hindi lagi ha. Mostly lang. Okay? So, ganito ang itsura ng modular I/O. So, bumili ako ng PLC. O, PLC ko. Ito lang yung aking I/O. So, yan lang yung I/O ko. So, pagka gusto ko mag-extend, kunyari, ang brand ng PLC ko ay Siemens. O, naghahanap ako ng Siemens sa market, wala akong mabiling Siemens. Ang nakita ko, Mitsubishi. So, yung Mitsubishi ang bibiling ko, since I am operating in modular and operating in open architecture, I can easily mix them. Because capable yon. Pero pag yan i-fix at yan ay close architecture, wag mo gagawin yon para ka lang nagtapon ng pera. Hindi yan gagana. Kahit ano ang gawin mo. So that's the difference between modular and fix. So naintindihan ka? O4, nakasunod pa? Okay. So ayan ang itsura ng modular I/O. Ito nahuhugot ito ha, nahuhugot. So, huwag kayo mag-alala, ay share ko yung analog, counter, relay, DC, DC output, lahat ng technical terms ni PLC as we go on, i-share ko before mag-proceed tayo sa hands-on. Okay? So, lastly, before I proceed with the power supply itself, power supply ang sunod eh. Okay? So, ganito muna. Okay? Summarize lang muna. Fixed PLC, fixed I/O PLC are mostly operate as closed architecture. But not all the time, ha? And modular PLC, it's the same. Pag modular, kalimitan, it is an open, but not all the time. So, yung modular, you can mix different types of PLC mix PLC brands from input and output as long as it is an open architecture. Like if fixed I/O, pag Schneider lang yung PLC ko and it is closed, ang bibiling ko module is ano lang ulit, ang bibili kong input and output module is for Schneider only. Para dun lang yun. Hindi ka pwede bumili ng ibang brand. So, ganun siya. Para, pag na-experience nyo to, na-encounter nyo to sa field, you have an idea. Hindi ka bili ng bili. Hindi ka kabit ng kabit. Hindi ka lagay ng lagay. Kailangan, before you operate an equipment, an apparatus or devices, you need to navigate the manual. You need to navigate the specification. Yun ang tinuturo ko sa inyo dito. Hindi ka basta connect ng connect, hindi ka basta energize ng energize. Dapat alam mo kung ano yung specification ng device mo. Okay? Next. So, power supply. So, I know you are done with AC or DC. 'Di ba? Hindi ko natatanungin. Dito kasi a-apply mo lang kailan mo gagamitin si 24 volts DC. Kailan mo 'to gagamitin at kailan mo gagamitin si 220 voltage AC. So, dito lang naman lalaro ang voltages ng PLC and sa hands-on ninyo, sa practical. So, when is the time to use this and this one? So, nakalagay dito, supplies DC power to other modules that plug. So, I'm telling you, PLC need a power supply. Hindi tatakbo si PLC pag wala kang power supply. Power supply needs 24 volts DC and some PLC work with 230 volts. So, pwede daw siyang gumana sa 24 volts, pwede siya gumana sa 220 voltage. So, yung PLC gagamitin natin, okay, so ito ay gagana sa 220 voltage AC and 110 voltage AC kung kayo nasa ibang country. So, ano yan? Anong yung 220 na yan? So, take note yan, ang power supply ng PLC mo. Dito yan inilalagay. So, line 1 or neutral or line 1, line 2 or ground. So, meaning ito, operate yan dapat sa 220 voltage AC or 110 voltage AC. So, meaning this PLC, yung inyong hands-on, it will work generally on 220 volts. I-Batelec or Meralco. Kahit irekta mo, gagana yan. So, depende sa PLC ha, kasi ang nagkataon ng PLC model na nakuha natin kay Schneider, yan ang kanyang power supply. Meaning, it can easily directly to the outlet natin dito here in the Philippines. Pero pag yan ay 24 volts ang kanyang hindi mo yun pwedeng irekta dyan. Kailangan mo ng 24 volts na separate. So ayun ha, application lang ng AC and DC nyo. So paano mo malalaman kung 24 volts o 220? May nakasulat dito sa manual. Read the manual first, read the specification first bago kayo saksak ng saksak. Susunog yan pagka sinaksak mo sa 220 volts pero it is rated for voltage DC. Sunog yan. Sira. Okay? So, yan. Iisa-isahin ko. Ang PLC natin, it will power up on 220 voltage AC or 110. Wala sa ibang bansa kayo. So, ayan ha. Kaya nakalagay dito, lilagay ko, needs 24 volts DC supply. Meron, yung ating gagamitin is 230 or 220. So, maalin. Depende sa PLC model. May PLC kayo may counter, 24 volts ang supply. So, hindi mo siya pwedeng irekta sa saksakan. Kailangan mo ng separate power supply. Okay? So, ayan. The power supply details of PLC depend on the type. Okay? Large system. So, ganito. May share lang ako sa inyo. Take down notes. Wala to dito. Wala to sa lecture. Share ko lang. So, ayan. May may idea ka na. Si PLC will work on 220 and 110. Maalis. So, 220 tayo. So, as you can see, meron ka nakikita dito mga 24 volts, 0 volts, common. So, meaning 24 volts is positive and 0 is negative. Diga? Positive, negative. So, DC yan. So, meaning pag pinower up ko si PLC, o pinower up ko yung PLC natin, pag pinagtetester ko tong 24 volts at 0, may makukuha kong 24 volts. Meaning, itong mga inputs ko, pwede na ako maglagay dyan ng mga push button na will operate at 24 volts. Hindi ka pwedeng maglagay dito ng AC. Hindi ka pwedeng maglagay ng AC because ito ay 24 volts. Kung yan ay AC na nakalagay na 220 volts, pwedeng AC. We know that 220 is AC, di ba? So pagka yan ay 24 volts ang nakalagay dyan sa taas. So meaning, magkakameron na ako ng 24 volts supply. Katulad dito, anong ibig sabihin yan? Itong line 1 ko, 24 volts. Ayan push button, palagay dito. So, yung isang side ng push button ko, ilalagay ko dito sa 24 volts. So, nagigets nyo ga? So, line 1, yun. So, from input papunta dun sa supply ko, 24 volts. So, meaning itong PLC na to, yung input side niya, it is rated for 24 volts. So, be aware of that ha. Tinuturo ko yung ng specification. Hindi laging 24 volts yan. Paano pag ibang brand ng PLC, nangyari ay 220? Di, ang bibili mo mga components ay push button na rated for AC. So, like that. So, mahalaga ito ha. Mahalaga ito bago kayo magsimula ng practical. So, dito sa output ko, that is for input. O, yung ating gagamiting PLC, so, ang kanyang input is 24 volts. So, expect mo, magagamitin mo mga push button dyan, mga sensor is 24 volts. Widely naman, ang mga push button at mga nasa 24 volts. Nabibili natin kay Schneider, nagala siya kay 220, nagala din siya kay 24 volts. So, pwede yon. Yung mga sensor natin makukuha, typically that is 24 volts. Advantages na yon, yung mga limit switch, proximity sensor, inductive sensor, capacitive, lahat yung 24 volts, kalimitan. Pagdating dito sa output, take note ha, ito ay sinabi ko na sa kabilang section, ito ay aking bonus sa inyo. Pag bibili ka ng PLC, may different types of output tayo. Meron tayong relay output at meron tayong transistor output. Ano pinagkaiba niyan? Itong PLC natin, anong output yan? Yan nakalagay. Relay out. Relay out, nakalagay. Relay output. Ano big sabihin pag relay output? So, meaning dito yan magbabase sa output base, sa output. So, pag sinabing relay output, typically you can connect here both voltages like 24 voltage DC or 220 voltage AC. Ito yun. Ito. So, ito, kunyari, relay output, pwede itong 24 voltage or pwede itong 220 voltage AC. So, papunta dun sa output. Because your PLC is rated for relay output. Tatandaan nyo yan, ha? So, meaning, relay output yung gagamitin nyo, pwede kang maglagay sa output ng 24 volts, pwede kang maglagay sa output ng 220. Pero, wag mong ilalagay ang 220 dito sa taas. Kasi, pang 24 volts lang ang input natin. So, ayan na, safety. Safety ang itinuturo ko sa inyo para hindi masira. Okay? So, yun ang relay output. Paano pag transistor output? Pag transistor. I know, nag-study ka ng LX1 and 2. Favorite subject nyo ata yun. Hindi ko alam. So, transistor, doon mo na encounter si transistor. So, pag sinabing transistor output, your PLC itself, your PLC should only work with 24 voltage. Kanya nakalagay dito, TR. TR yun TR out. Hindi nakalagay out. Hindi siya relay out. Ang nakalagay ay TR out. So, meaning na TR out, it is a transistor output. Meaning, your output only will work at 24 voltage DC. Hindi mo siya pwedeng pasakan ng 220 volts unlike kung kay relay output. Nag-guess nyo yung dalawa? O 4? So, mahalaga yan ha. Mahalaga. When operating a PLC, bibili ako ng PLC, you need also consider that. Kung yan ay relay output or transistor output. So, relay output ang bibili mo para yung output mo, pero 220, pwedeng 24 volts. Kasi pag transistor output yan, yung output mo ay only will work at 24 volts at hindi mo pwedeng pasakan ng 220, masisira yan. Take note of this. Wala yan dyan. O 4, nasusundan pa, pagkakaiba. So, ang ating ay relay output relay output. So, meaning, gagana dito ang 220 volts, gagana dyan ang 24 volts. So, pag transistor output, 24 volts only. So, very important in order for you to navigate this PLC kasi you studied circuits 1, 2, 3, you know about the differences between AC, DC. You know how to apply it. You should know how to apply it. I'm teaching you here right now how to apply the AC and DC 220 and 24 volts. So, it's very important. So, I want you to have an extra care when dealing with this one. So, though lalagyan ko naman ng mga breaker yan, bubuin ko to, lalagyan ko ng mga breaker para pagka nagkakamali, trip lang ng trip. Pero syempre, pag 24 volts, alam mo, positive, negative. Di ba? Positive, negative yun. Hindi ka pwedeng magsama ng dalawang positive or dalawang negative or pagkasalubungin mo, magsha-short yan. So, pag AC, alam mo pwedeng magkabaliktad ng line 1, line 2, or line 1 or neutral, interchange, okay lang yan. Pero dito kay 24 voltage DC, hindi pwede. Kapag ang positive, para sa positive, ang negative, para sa negative, hindi mo pwedeng pag-interchange, hindi mo pwedeng pagsalubungin. Magsho-short yan. So, that's an application. Kailangan kayo ay aware dyan before you operate this. Hindi ako pwedeng magpa-hands-on agad nang hindi mo alam yan. Nang hindi ninyo napapag-aralan pa. Okay? So, lastly, relay output ang ating gagamitin. Relay output yun, nakita ko na. So, I've tried 24 volts and 220, it works perfectly because it is relay output. So, i-guide ko din kayo kung kailan mo kailangan gamitin si 24 volts at kailan mo kailangan gamitin si 220. It depends on the component itself. Paano pag ang push button ko ay rated sa 220? Paano pag ang contactor ko ay rated sa 220? So, 220 gagamitin ko. So, paano mo yun gagawin sa PLC? So, tuturo ko as we go on. Ano? So, makinig lang. So, naintindihan ba? Ito, naintindihan? So, power supply, napakahalaga niyan. Hindi yan basta saksak lang ng saksak kung anong meron akong power supply. Ayan, katulad nito. Excuse me. Ito yung 24 voltage DC na power supply. So, meaning, yan, line to neutral. Sasaksak ko siya sa outlet, pero magbibigay siya ng output ng 24 volts. So, positive, negative, positive, negative. So, dito pala, bali. So, ito ay positive, positive, negative, negative. So, meaning, pag dito ko kumuha ng supply, may 24 volts ako at dito din. Kasi lagi magkasama ang positive at negative. Hindi pwedeng positive, positive or negative, negative. Hindi naman yan gagana. Okay? So, ito. If I need a 24 external power supply, gagamit ako nito. Ito din, similar lang din ito. 24 ito. Pag sinaksak ko sa Meralco, sa Batilec, magkakameron ako dito ng 24 volts. So, paano ba siya dito kay PLC? So, PLC mo is relay output, diba? No? Nakalagay, relay output. So, meaning, dito sa aking output, it can work as 24 voltage DC or 220 voltage AC. It's because I'm operating a PLC with relay output. So, paano mo ba gamitin itong 24 volts na to? Ayan, DC output o DC input. So, ganito yan. No, may push button ako, kunyari. May 5 akong push button. Kunyari, push button to, 5. So, meaning, yung push button, isang side ko, pag lalagay ko siya sa input side, 5. Tigigisa yan ha, hindi pwedeng 2. Tigigisa sa input side, lahat. Kaso, yung supply ko, sabihin natin, meron akong 24 volts na power supply. So, paano itong push button, I mean? So, paano ko i-connect ang power supply nito? Saan ako kukuha ng 24 volts? Ito, 24 volts. Okay? So, ito, paglalagay mo isa-isa doon, di ba? Logically speaking, ganun ang sabihin mo. Ang problema mo dyan, hindi yan kakasya lahat dyan sa 24 volts. Sa PLC, maliit lang yan. Mga 2 lang ang kasya dito. So, gagawin mo, pagsisiksikan mo dito. Di ba? Pagsisiksikan mo lahat yung push button mo sa 24 volts. Hindi ganun. Though gagana yan, kung mapapagkasya mo. Hindi mo nga mapapagkasya. So, gagawin mo, magkakameron ka dito ng terminal block. I-extend mo yung 24 volts. Terminal block. Tapos, yung ito, tigigisa sila ng terminal block na nakakonect yung terminal block dito at nakakonect dito para ma-detect ni PLC mo na meron kang i-connect na input tapos may supply siya. Kasi pag hindi mo sinupply si push button mo, hindi ma-detect ng PLC mo na meron kang i-connect dito. So, that's how you work with 24. Naintindihan ka? So, kung ayaw mo mag-terminal block, edi gamamit ka nito. External ito, external. 24 volts din ito. Sa halip na ipagsiksikan mo dito, dito mo ilagay. O makakadalawa ko dito. Kasi 2 set yan. Di 2 push button ko na dito sa external. 24 volts. So, take note, input section yan na. Input section. So, naintindihan ka 04. 24 volts natin, 24 volts. So, naintindihan kung paano siya inilalagay dito. So, lahat ng isang side ko ng push button, ilalagay ko sa mga input. At yung isang side ko ng push button, ilalagay ko dun sa supply, sa 24 volts. So, ganun siya sa input. So, hindi mo siya pwedeng pagsalubungin kasi pag nagsalubong yan, short yan lahat, sira ang PLC, sira ang mga capacitor sa loob. So, yun ang crucial dyan. Kaya ako inisa-isa. And take note, ang input side ni PLC mo, it will only work as 24 volts. Hindi yan gagana sa 220. Hindi ka pwedeng maglagay ng ilaw dyan or rated na push button na 220. Hindi mo pwedeng erekta. So, paano pagka ganun? Ang available ko lang ay 220, tapos 24 volts ang PLC ko, ituturo ko din. Gagamit tayo ng relay, external relay, para ang output ng DC, ang AC mo, maging DC. So, something like that. Okay? So, pero since we have push buttons naman na 24 volts, pwede ko na yung i-direct yun dyan. So, that's for power supply, ha? So, ito sa output, later on, pupunta tayo dito. So, naintindihan itong input side natin. So, basic pa lang to. So, ina-explain ko lang kung paano siya nag-ooperate. So, O4, nasusundan ba? If you have questions, ay magtanong, ha? Or nabibilsan kayo. So, magtanong if you have questions. So, O4, do you still follow? Okay, so ayan So thank you. So makinig sayang kasi pagka So O4 ayan, power supply, okay na tayo sa architecture, okay na tayo sa input and output, power supply. Next is processor. So, ang processor ng computer mo is i3, i5, i7, Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, Ryzen 9. So, hindi siya, though it's the processor that processes the computer itself, yung ginagamit nyo sa laptop. Pero dito kay PLC, it is the brain also. Ang magpaprocess ng program mo, ang magpaprocess ng iyong process control is the CPU. Laging may CPU, Central Processing Unit. It is very important. Siya magbibigay kung ano sinasabi ng input at siya magsasabi kay output kung anong gagawin niya. Ipaprocess niya, sinasabi ng input, papunta kay output. So that is the CPU itself. So technically speaking, yun lang yun. Okay? So ito yung processor niya. Yung PLC natin, excuse me, nasa loob ng CPU niyan. May CPU na yan, maliit, nasa loob. So pag malalaking CPU, so ayan, mga ganito ang CPU niya, modular. So, kinakabit, pag malalaking PLC natin, so yan ang CPU, nahuhugot. Yung sa atin, hindi mo na mahuhugot kasi fix na yun, nadudoon na nasa loob yun. Unless kung kalasin mo. It depends on the model itself. So, typically, processor processes what is happening on your program, what happening on the PLC itself. From input to output or output to input. Vice versa. Siya ang bahala mag-process. Okay? So, yan na-open ko si architecture, fix IO, input and output section, si power supply, processor. Tapos before I proceed with this one, typical PLC scan cycle. So take note, PLC runs in a closed loop. I know, nag-control system kayo. You know, closed loop and open loop. So pag closed loop, pag may problema ang isa, finish na. Typically, di ba? So dito yan, read inputs, na dito push button, na dito ang sensor. So pag nandiyan ng inputs, tatakbo siya at dito mapapapunta ang CPU. Nandito ang PLC. So CPU, RAM, ROM, nandito siya. So kung ano yung program mo sa i-execute, iisipin ni CPU bago niya ibigay kay output. So pag may problema ka dito kay CPU, may problema ka sa program, hindi mapaprocess si CPU, sasabihin niya kung ano yung mali. So tanggal ang closed loop mo. Pag may mali kang isa dyan, wala na, hindi ka na magka-closed loop. So, nag-execute ako ng program, nag-update ng output, at ito, ongoing. As long as your PLC is running, your PLC is operating, the diagnostic and communication of its system is running. Okay, so tuloy-tuloy lang yan because PLC has fault tolerant. Nagmo-monitor yan from time to time from its operation and process as long as may detect siya abnormal. PLC is perfectionist. It find fault every time. Pag may mali dyan, sasabihin yan sa iyo. Ganun siya ka-powerful, ganun siya ka-effective sa industrial automation system. So, nakakita siya ng fault, ititigil niya, sasabihin niya sa'yo. So, closed loop, paulit-ulit lang siya from time to time. As long as your closed loop is running smoothly, with each process, your PLC will run and your operation will run smoothly. So, kapag nagka-problema ko sa input, wala na, titigil na yan. Hindi na niya, ibibigay niya na sa'yo kung ano yung problema. So, that is a PLC scan cycle and, excuse me. So, ayan. So, naintindihan? PLC scan cycle, baka pagka pinadrawing at pina-explain. So, sayang naman sa midterms. So, take down of this. Closed loop ang PLC. Pag nagka-problema yan, tigil. Ititigil niyan. Okay? So, ayan. Bigyan ko lang kayo ng input and output system. So, connection. So, meron kasi tayong ito, makinig Meron tayong input and output system kay PLC. Meron akong digital input, digital output, analog input, and analog output. So, ano pinagkaiba niyan? Saan ko makikita yung digital input at digital output or analog input and analog output? Before I proceed with this wiring connections, ano ko muna ang differences between the two. So, digital input and digital output, alin yon? Ito yon. Ito ang digital input, ito ang digital output. Okay? So, nasa lang analog input and analog output? Ito. Kakaunti lang yan. Pag binuksan mo yan, may ports dyan, pwede mo siyang mag-connect ng analog doon. So, before I proceed, bago ko mag-connect dyan, ano pinagkaiba ng digital and analog? So, ito yon. Excuse me. So, pag sinabing digital, o DI or DO, digital input, digital output, alam mo, pag sinabing, nagtanong, alin dito ang digital input? Itong taas, digital input siya. Ng baba, digital output. So, pag sinabing digital output, you have only two states. Diba, digital right ng Arduino, on, off, high, low, 1, 0. Ganon din kay PLC. excuse me, pag sinabing digital, two states lang yan. On-off, high-low, or 1 or 0. On-off lang yan. On-off. Yun lang. Pag sinabing on-off, off, high-low, on-off, high-low, 1, 0, meaning it works digitally. It works as digital. So, meaning, push button mo, ano gayon? Di ka push button mo ay 1, 0 lang yun. Pag pinindot mo, 1. Pag binitawan mo, 0. Depende kung normally closed or normally open. Typically, yun ang understanding natin. Pag ginamit mo yon, it is a digital input and output. Example, push button, press or not press, 1 or 0 yan. Limit switch, 1 or 0 din. Pag minadetect yung, excuse me, limit switch, mabubuhay. Pag wala, 0, di on-off, digital. Sensor, pag minadetect yung sensor mo, mabubuhay. Pag wala, 0, digital. Digital output, ganun din yung motor. Di yung motor mo, pag pinindot mo yung push button, mag-start. 1. Pag pinatay mo, 0. Energizing, 1, 0. Indicator light, 1, 0. So, typically, ang signal characteristic ng digital mo is 24 volts or 230 volts. Depende. Depende ha, depende. Hindi laging 24 volts, hindi laging 230. So, i-guide ko kayo kung kailan mo to gagamitin. Itong dalawang voltages na to. So, yan ang critical dyan. Hindi ka pwede basta magkamali dyan. Because energization yan. Energize yan. Pag nagkamali ka sa energize, pwedeng mag-short, pwedeng masira. Okay? So, typically, pag sinabi digital input, you have only two states. Digital, input and output, on, off, or high-low. Yung push button mo, meron kang push button. Alam mo, ang push button is a digital. Ang operation lang niya is 1 to 0. So, saan mo siya ilalagay kay PLC? Siyempre, kay digital input, hindi kay analog. Because push button only work with on-off. And digital input only works with on-off. Katulad ng motor. Di ka, motor ay buhay, patay-buhay lang din. Yun, patay-buhay typically. Patay-buhay yung operation, doon mo i-connect sa digital, hindi sa analog. Okay? So, ayan, 1, 0. Typically, pag digital, 1, 0, high, low, patay, buhay, on, off. Pag analog naman, analog signals have continuous range of values. So, hindi lang siya basta 1, 0, bubuhayin mo, papatayin mo, or mabubuhay, mamatay. So, something like that. So, ito ay, tipo ko to, tipo. Analog ito, analog. Example niya is temperature sensor. So, di ba pag temperature sensor, temperatures varies over time. Hindi naman laging 5 degrees. Hindi naman laging 5 degrees. Hindi naman laging 10 degrees. Hindi naman laging 15 degrees. Temperature changes over time depending on the environmental conditions. So, meaning, yan yung sinasabi ng continuous range of values. Kunyari, ngayong minuto, 5 degrees Celsius. After 1 minute, naging 10 degrees Celsius. Meaning na bago. Hindi lang siya basta on-off. Ang nangyayari sa kanya, continuous. Buhay siya, pero it continues. Pag nag-0 degrees, mamamatay siya. It depends. So, meaning fluctuating. Alam niyo, fluctuation, di ba? Sa AC. Sine wave is fluctuating. Hindi ka lagi nasa taas, lagi nasa baba. O nasa taas, nasa baba. So, sine wave, it is a fluctuation. So, yun ang sinasabi ng analog. Especially also in pressure transducer. Kunyari, nag-start ako sa 5 bar. And from time to time, nababago, 10 bars, 20 bars, 30 bars, and so on. So, I have continuous range of values. So, yan ang meaning ng analog. Pagka ang application mo ay about that sensors, pressure transducers, flow meters, temperature, that changes its value from over time, sa analog ka magko-connect ng system dito. Hindi dito. Because digital is for on-off only, high or low, or 1 or 0. Pag analog, continuous range, 5 degrees, 10 degrees, 15 degrees, 20 degrees. Continuous range. Okay? So, naintindihan? So, analog analog and digital, huwag kang magkakamali doon. Pag naglagay ka ng mga sensor, ng temperature sensor sa digital, hindi makakadetect si PLC ng 5 degrees, 10 degrees, because it is only built up for on-off. Yung temperature, yung digital mo, yung analog mo, ang build for continuous ranges that changes from time to time. Pag digital output o VFD, you change 60 Hz, pwede mo bababaan as 50, 40, 30, pababagalin mo. It changes from time to time, di ba? Hindi lang siya literal na 60 na buhay on-off. O dimming light, hindi naman laging maliwanag, pwede mong pahinaan ng ilaw. So it changes, it fluctuates. As you can see, yung voltages niya, maliit. O, katulad kanina, digital only works with 24 and 230. Dito, changes siya. Pwede mas mababa sa 10. So, dito lang siya mag-ooperate. Pwedeng mas mababa sa 10 or exactly 10. Hindi siya pwedeng tumaas. Pag tinaasan mo voltage, magkakameron ka ng unprecise measure ng temperature and pressure kung ano man ang sensor mo. Okay? So, ang current niya, maliit. 4 to 20 milliampere. So, industry standard. Take note, industry standard talaga to. Dito lang siya nag-ooperate. Hindi siya ganun kataas. Maliit. Sensors lang yan. So, before I proceed with the next, so naintindihan mo ang analog and digital. For nasundan, pinagkaiba. Lastly, summarize ko ulit. Digital simply operates with on-off only, or high or low, or 1 or 0, or patay buhay. But analog typically works with continuous rates, such as temperature that changes its condition from time to time based from its environmental condition. So that is the difference between digital and analog. So I gave you a push button. I gave you a stop and start push button. Saan mo siya ilalagay? Sa digital o sa analog? Typically sa digital. Because push button works with digital outputs and inputs. Hindi siya sa analog. Pag binigyan kita ng temperature sensor, temperature switch, temperature switch is used to detect a temperatures that changes from time to time. So hindi ko siya ilalagay sa digital. Ilalagay ko siya dun sa analog. So, yan ang pinagkaiba niyan. Okay? So, kaya bago tayo mag-connect, bago kayo mag-hands-on, you know something. You know the theoretical and you know the principle. Hindi yung basta pasak ng pasak, hindi basta lagay ng 24 volts, 220, tapos saksak, bukas ang breaker, sira. So, dapat kayo ay aware, alam nyo ang pangyayari bago nyo i-open, bago nyo siya i-connect. As you can see on this structure, ito input, kunyari input. Okay? So, ayan, may power supply ako. Yung push button ko, nakalagay dito sa input 0. Especially, ilagay natin dito. At yung isang side ko, nakalagay kay 24 volts. Push button ito. Yun, nakalagay kay 24 volts and so on. Naglagay ulit ako ng assignment. Yan, input. Tapos, naka 24 volts. So, ganun din kay output. AC. AC ang ginamit niya dito. Pwedeng DC din. Voltage AC or pwedeng voltage DC. Basta ang PLC mo is relay output ha. Tatandaan mo yun. Huwag kayo malilito. Basta pag relay output ng PLC mo, pwede yan sa DC or AC. Basta dito lang sa output. Huwag kang maglalagay ng AC dito. Kung siya ay yung PLC mo is rated for 24 volts only. Okay? So, ayun. Yung isang motor, nakalagay sa isang supply. Tapos, iyon, nakalagay sa dito. And so on. Yung ilaw, nakalagay sa supply uli. And so on. Ganun siya i-kinoconnect. Tapos, syempre sa program, kamag-alala, dadating tayo dyan. Isa-isa lang. Hindi nyo na maintindihan pag itinuro ko agad lahat. Okay? So, naglalagay ako ng mga push button, limit switch sa digital input because ang purpose lang naman niya is patayin at buhayin ng aking output. Right? Ganun din. Ang ilaw ko, ano bang operation ng ilaw? Di iilaw lang at mamamatay. So, sa digital output ko, ilalagay. Hindi kay analog. Pero pag nagkameron dyan ng mga temperature sensor, pressure na naiiba from changes from time to time, I will put it on my analog side, on my analog input side. So yan, I made a table here that summarizes between the difference between the two. So pag digital, typically on-off or 1 or 0. So for analog, it has continuous range. It can change from time to time, 5 degrees, 10 degrees, 15 degrees, and so on. It changes from time to time. Unlike a digital na it only operates at 1 and 0. So complexity, simple. Analog, more complex. Okay? So accuracy, only 2 states, 1 and 0. Can represent precise values. I'm telling you kung yan ay 5 bars, 10 bars, 20 bars. It depends from the environmental condition. It depends from the process condition itself. Okay? Example device, switch, lamp. Ito, sensor, flow valve. So, it changes. Ito, as we can see, it changes from time to time. And PLC is digital input and analog input. So, pag natanong sa interview, ilalagay mo, knowledgeable sa resume mo. Ilalagay, knowledgeable in PLC. Tapos biglang natanog ng inputs and outputs, digital. Alam mo ang differences. Alam mo kung kailan mo siya gagamitin. Right? So, hindi mo pwedeng interchange yan. Hindi pwede. Kapag naglagay ka ng temperature sensor sa digital, hindi makaka-detect ng temperature. Though mapapower up niya, pero hindi siya makaka-detect ng temperature. Kasi ang dinidetect ng digital, on-off lang. Hindi siya nakaka-detect ng mga precise values ng 5 degrees, 10 degrees. Kasi kay analog mo siya dadalhin. Okay? So ito ay kakunti naman na to, o 4, ito ay last 5 slides na lang. Hindi ko masyado dinamahin ng introduction kasi baka ma-overwhelm, madami. Pero before I proceed with the last parts, so last parts na to, O4, do you have any questions? Nasusundan ba? May naintindihan ka? Learning something ba? Sa power supply, sa input, output? So madami kayong na-encounter kasi application to may 24 volts ka, DC, AC, alam mo circuits 1 and 2, di ko man kahit tinatanong ng Kirchhoffs. Ang ginagawa ko dito, apply nyo lang yung theory noon. Kung kailan mo siya dapat gamitin. Okay? So ayan na, sa digital and analog, very important also. So ayan, excuse me, last part, we have the programming device. So architecture, input, output, power supply, CPU, tapos programming device. So pag sinabi programming device, so ayan, meron tayong most popular PLC programming languages. So sa Arduino, meron kang C++, ito programming language C, Python, Java, ewan ko, narinig nyo na yan before. Siguro narinig nyo na yan. Ano ginamit nyo sa Visual Basic nyo? Python. Programming language yan. Pero sa PLC, meron tayong programming language. Meron tayong 5 na ginagamit. We have ladder, sequential, function block, structured text, extraction list. Pero ang ituturo ko sa inyo at ang gagamitin natin is the ladder diagram, itong number 1. Yan ang ituturo ko sa inyo, though yan ang pinakamadaling intindihin, pero mostly internationally, yan ang pinakaginagamit na languages. Kaya pag maalam ka niyan, so you can navigate any type of PLC, any brand of PLC, because you know the programming language. Right? So ang sunod na ito before na experience ko tong function block diagram. So I've used this once. So function block diagram, to ladder diagram to nakalagay sa isang block. Pero dadating naman kayo dyan kung yan ang ipagagamit ng company. Pero mostly company here in the Philippines, internationally, they use ladder diagram. I'm telling you. They use ladder diagram mostly, not all the time, mostly. Like 8 out of 10 company, they use ladder diagram on their PLC. So if you know how to use this, you can navigate everything in any types of PLC, any branch of PLC. Ito ang aralin natin. Programming language. And gagamit ka ng software na ginamit from Schneider. Because PLC mo ay Schneider, software na Schneider gagamitin mo. Kung ang PLC mo ay Allen Bradley, di pang Allen Bradley. Kung Mitsubishi, di pang Mitsubishi. So, yung application, ibibigay ko sa inyo, don't worry. Lahat kayo magkakameron ng copy and you have the opportunity to install it on your device or your laptop or computer and it is for free. Okay? Ayan, program. So, ito yung gagamitin natin, relay ladder logic or ladder diagram kung tawagin. So, the standard programming. So, most widely used yan. Okay, so ranks, contacts, yung nakita nyo kaninang mga picture, ito, mga ganitong picture, that is ladder diagram. Mga kanina nyo nakikitang picture. Yan, ladder diagram yon. Yun ang aaralin nating program. Okay? So, last time when I teach this course, wala akong software, wala akong hardware, wala akong PLC itself, wala akong parts, wala akong components. I use this software, yung Do More Designer. So, it is a PLC programming also na, yes, it can simulate. Take note, you can simulate a PLC program on your software. Kahit wala kang PLC, wala kang components, alam mong gagana ang program mo because may simulation. Pwede mo siyang i-simulate. Kung gagana ba yung program mo, kung mabubuhay yung output mo from time to time, pag nag-simulate ka. As you can see, ito yung simulation ko. Meron ako 16 DI, meron ako 16 DO. Meaning 16 DI, 16 digital input. Meaning 16 digital output. Yun lang naman ang sinasabi niyan. Okay? And my input is stated as X. Mga X. So, X1, X0, X1, X2, X3. So, pag nakakita ka ng ganyan, di siya ay input. Pero pag Y0, Y1, Y2, Y3, and output. Dito lang sa atin, bigyan ko lang ng idea. Dito sa Schneider natin, pag sinabing mga input side, I0, I0, I2, I3, I4, input side. Pero pag dining mga Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, yan ay output. So, depende. Iba kasing brand yan. Magkaibang brand. Ang ginamit niya dito, ang input niya, X. Kay Schneider, I. Output niya dito Y, ang kay Schneider Q. So, kay malilito, parehas lang yan. Okay, so kay malilito. So, ito yung before application ko. Pero ang gagamitin natin is from Schneider. So, ito ay Machine Expert Basic ang tawag. It is for free. Bibigyan ko kayo ng copy and you will install it from your device, laptop. At yan ang gagamitin nyo pagka nag-programming na tayo. Nag-actual na kayo. Okay? So, ito yung PLC natin na gagamitin. So, ayan, 120 to 240 voltage AC. So, meaning, ayan, nakalagay na, power supply. Meaning, iko-collect mo yan dyan para yan ay ma-power up. Okay? So, meron ka ditong digital inputs, digital outputs, analog. Focus lang muna tayo dito at tuturuan ka kayo ng kaunti dito kay Modbus, Ethernet, kung ano ginagawa niyan. And how to communicate it from one place to another or for PLC to your laptop itself. Okay? So, ito yung kanyang programming. Ito Schneider tayo. Itong gagamitin nyo. Ito yung gagamitin natin. So, current symbol. Ayan. Ito yung input side. Ito yung output. Ayan. So, ganyan siya pinoprogram. So, syempre maglalagay ka ng input side. Nakalagay dito I 0.0 tapos I 0.1. Ibig sabihin niyan, input yan doon sa 0. At itong 1, input yan doon sa 1. Basic lang. Input, nakalagay doon sa program ay I 0.0. So, alin yun? Ito. I 0.1. Alin yan? Yung I1 na yun. Since so on, I 0.2. Di dun sa 2. So, yun ang meaning niya. Binibigyan mo siya ng address. Binibigyan mo siya ng mapping. Ganun lang din siya dito. Q 0.0. So, alin yan? Di yung Q0 dun sa PLC. Pag nakalagay ay Q 0.1. Di yung Q1 doon sa PLC. So, binibigyan mo siya ng address. Tapos, lalagyan mo siya dito sa program. So, meaning, pag nag-open itong I0 ko, meaning, yung input ko doon sa PLC, mag-open yun. Supposed to be dapat ganon. Nagpindot ako ng push button na nakalagay dito sa 0. So, ito, magkakakontak, magkakakuryente, diretso doon sa output ko na nakakonect dito sa 0. Kunyari, nakalagay dito ilaw. So, mag-open yun. So, yan. Sinimulan ko lang ulit ang pag-program. Kadaling intindihin, di ka? Compare dun sa ChatGPT yung C++. So, honestly, di ba? So, ito, kayong gagawa niyan, kayo mag-a-assign ng input and output doon sa PLC itself, doon sa hardware. So, makikita naman niya, huwag kayong mag-alala. Pag pinindot mo itong digital inputs, makikita mo lahat ang nakakonect doon. Ganon din kay output. So, yan na yun. Yan na yung last. So, hindi ko masyado dinamihan kasi baka kayo ay ma-overwhelm. So, O4, do you have any questions? Maliwanag ba O4? Naintindihan ang introduction? Take note, this is an introduction about the PLC. So, what's going to do? What you're going to navigate? So, what's the importance, the reliability, the advantages? So, i-upload ko naman to, don't worry. So, O4, wala kayong tanong? Naintindihan? So, I assume, I assume naintindihan nyo kasi wala kayong tinatanong sa akin. So, clear ba, O4, before yes, it is almost 9 a.m. na din naman. So, hindi ko to, kilala nyo ako, pagka ako'y nagtuturo, hindi ko to sinasagad. Unlike before, kasi mahirap intindihan, mahirap i-absorb ng estudyante. Kahit ako. Ayaw ko magpakataga. Kung ako estudyante, ayaw pag-lecture. Siguro pag practical, sagad ng 3 hours. Pero pagka lecture na ganito, hindi. Hindi nyo mag-gets. So, itong introduction natin, it's just a summary. As I've told you before, I mentioned you a lot of things, a lot of technical terms na wala kay lecture, na wala dito kay PowerPoint. So, dapat kayo ay nag-take down notes and you are attentively listening. Okay? So, sige, O4, if you do not have any questions. So, I hope you understand what discussed today. And I hope you gained a new knowledge. Maybe, di ba? Zero tayo sa PLC, zero knowledge natin kay PLC, pero from time to time, nadadagdagan. And what is the meaning? What is the purpose? What's the importance of this? I'm telling you, baka ito pa makapagpa-abroad sa inyo. If you want to experience, magbabarko dyan, mag-abroad dyan, you need to learn this. Seryoso, kailangan nyo matuto niyan. Hindi ko sinasabing kailangan sobrang galing eh. Pero syempre, if you know something and you know how to navigate, how to troubleshoot, how to program, how to interpret a program, laking bagay. Kasi hindi lahat maalam yan. Okay, take note ha, hindi lahat maalam yan. So, okay. So, O4, i-upload ko naman ito. So, I hope you understand the differences. I hope we have a meaningful sessions today. So, I hope you have learned something new. Yun lang yung akin. I promise you from lecture, from time to time, you will learn something new. Always yon. So next week, we will have all face-to-face. So lecture lang ulit. As we go on, bago mag-midterms, talagang lecture lang muna. Kasi pagkatapos ng midterms, saka tayo mag-actual. Yun kasi ang goal ko. Hindi ako pwede mag-actual, hindi ako pwede magpa-wiring nang hindi mo to alam. Nang hindi, siyempre kayo marunong pa mga program. Mahirap. So lahat muna ng mga ganito, ituturo ko. At lahat ng components, operation, theories, all. Lahat ng summarization, ibibigay ko before we proceed to the actual itself. Okay? So, O4, I think next week ay, sige, lecture ulit. Face-to-face, titingnan natin kung whether ay goods. Pag goods, di go. Pagka ganito kasi ngayon, maulan eh. Recently, alam natin, sa place nyo here in Batangas, maulan. So, lakas ng ulan kahapon and mag-iingat kayo palagi. And I know this is only your class this Sunday. I think I can give whole Sunday sa inyo na to. So hindi ko na naman to isasagad hanggang alas 10. So at least daig pa natin ang nagpa 3 hours. So natutunan nyo today. Hopefully we have a meaningful always lecture. And thank you O4. If you don't have any questions, if you have any concerns, you can directly chat me, you can directly email me about your concerns. So thank you O4 and have a blessed Sunday. Stay dry. Ingat kayo and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po.